Today we are going to be just doing a little house reset. I just finished fixing one of my nails. It got broken, so I needed to hurry and fix that. It's currently nap time and quiet time for the kiddos, so I need to clean up a little bit from lunch. For the most part, the house is pretty good. I need to do some laundry. I heard something. I don't know what I heard. I have my nail mess in the kitchen because I just quickly did it. We need to do the dishes, and then I'm hoping I can get to tackling this hutch and the two I can't even think drawers that I didn't tackle when I've done my decluttering, because I'm going to be starting my spring cleaning. I'm going to be starting that at the beginning of March, so I want to have everything just good to go for that and have everything decluttered upstairs. Downstairs, it's a little bit of a different story, but that's going to be a big project. So I'm going to just work on the upstairs spring cleaning, and then we'll work on the downstairs afterwards. So that's kind of my plan, is to get those spaces decluttered, so that way when I go to do my spring cleaning, it's not terrible. So that's kind of my plan for now. We're gonna just start out by getting the kitchen cleaned up, or actually maybe I'll start in the dining room, since then I can just go right into working in the kitchen and get that cleaned. I did go to Walmart, so I have a few things that I need to put away from there. I already put away some of it. I got a few makeup things that was out of my eyebrow stuff and mascara, so I already put that on. So we got Lacey some like new shoes for like when we're working, because it's really dirty, and then just playing outside since it's like muddy and gross outside. Got some wipes. I also got a planner box. What am I saying? You'll see it in just a minute. I got it for this olive tree because I knew that I needed to get one. I just haven't found one I liked, and I know there's a couple comments about that. So I did find one at Walmart. We're gonna stick it in and see if I like it. I was trying to find like some moss so I could like fill it, but I just couldn't find any at Walmart because that's where I got it. So I'm probably just gonna try to find like a white blanket or something that I can put in, and it's gonna help that be a lot more stable too. So I think it's gonna actually be really good. Hopefully I like the way it looks until I can get a bigger tree and like finish out that wall like I mentioned. But let's go ahead and get going so I can stop talking. I got all of the dining room cleaned up. Now we're moving on into the kitchen. Like I said before, I was doing my nails. I've recently started to do builder gel, and it's something I have been debating between either going and just getting my nails done regularly or doing just them on my own. I always have had like the gel kit from as long as I can remember, but I wanted something where as my nails grew out, they wouldn't just break. And so my sister, she does builder gel, and then my other sister is an actual like cosmetologist, so she learned how to do nails, and so she can also do them. And so between the two, I'm like, I can figure out how to do it by myself. So I've been figuring it out, and I will say my nails are like short right now, so I'm trying to grow them out. So I think once they grow out a little bit more, it'll be easier. But for now, my nails, like, I'm just trying to figure out how they work so they keep kind of lifting. But I think as I practice, since that was like my first time ever working with the builder gel, this first time I've done my nails, I'm still just trying to figure out how it works. But I'm excited to see if I can actually make this work long term, because it's going to save me a lot of money, and it's just something that I can do for myself, you know, every like couple of weeks, 3 weeks, whatever I end up wanting to do. But I am excited to see how they end up turning out. But right now, I think this next month, with the amount of cleaning I'm going to be doing with spring cleaning, I don't know how well they will last up, because I actually started my spring cleaning the day that I'm doing my voiceover, so that way I can get that up at the beginning of March, and they're definitely a lot worse from scrubbing things down for a lot of time. So definitely gonna have to figure out how to make them last longer for sure. So this is that pot I was talking about. It's just the Better Home and Gardens planter, and it's like not breakable, which is I thought would be perfect for in the house since I have kids. So I'm just gonna go stick this by the tree, and we'll stick it in it in just a minute. I'm going to get this dishwasher loaded up. We're going to clean the sink, and then we're going to move on into switching some laundry. And in the process of me doing that, I realized that the load didn't spin right, so we're going to respin that load. And then I was going to fold some laundry, but the decluttering that I'm going to be doing later and organizing took longer than I thought it would, so I pushed that till later when the kids were playing downstairs, and I just folded it down there while they were playing, and it worked out just fine. But I wanted to touch on the fact that I was doing so much cleaning today, and I just wanted to let you know that I think I'm going to be having a decluttering marathon go up right after this video. I think Saturday, and then Monday is going to be starting my spring cleaning series, and I'm going to attempt to try to be posting 3 days a week until my spring cleaning is done. I'm going to be adding in some decorating videos kind of in between, but for the most part, I'm going to be doing a room, or there's a couple days that it's like I do the stairs and the hallway in one day. So I'm going to be trying to do a room every video. So I hope you're ready for tons of spring cleaning motivation coming. I like to spend a lot of the March just getting my house ready for spring, so that way when it actually starts to warm up, we can be outside and I'm not just constantly trying to get the house cleaned. And I will say, it definitely is a lot, but it just feels so good to just have the house fully reset and deep cleaned, doing more of the deep cleaning that I would do, you know, once, maybe twice a year kind of a thing. So definitely is nice. But here I'm putting in this tree. I was struggling to find a blanket that I liked. I was trying to find a white one since I couldn't find the moss, and I couldn't find one. As I was cleaning the hutch, I found this brown one, and I don't even know if I showed an after of it. I'll have to remember to do that here soon. but I added it in there and I like it. But there's a little like piece that makes it uneven in the pot and it's driving me crazy. So I definitely am going to have to fix it a little bit because it's like not straight. And that tree in general just kind of has issues. I need to see if I can fluff it out, but every time I have, it just doesn't work and it's uneven. So I need to figure that out, get a different tree, something, because it just is not working out. But anyways, we are now to the decluttering. This hutch is something else. The top drawer is supposed to be like a junk drawer with like our pens, sticky notes, markers, things like that, staplers. But instead, I've made it a mail collection, as you can see, and just paperwork. So sorting that out, and then I needed to work on the bottom, and it was even more paperwork. I ended up getting rid of today a garbage bag full of stuff to just throw away. There was like some other random things that I did get rid of that you will see, I think, when I'm in the cupboards over in the dining room. But the amount of stuff that I got rid of, you'll have to let me know, how do you do with like decluttering paperwork? I feel like that's one of the hardest things because I never know if we're going to actually need the paper, but we always end up getting like our, power bill and gas bill and like our city bills through the mail, and I never know if we need to keep them. I usually keep them until they're paid, and then we get rid of them. Sometimes clearly I don't because I had a whole bunch, but then there's also some important paperwork that I need, and I always like to keep like the kids' growth charts for when they go to the doctor and they show like their growth. So I actually made a file in our little file paperwork area for those specific things. And I also found some ultrasounds and then Waverly's like bracelets for the hospital, things like that. So I actually need to put that onto a bin for them. That's something that I'm wanting to do here soon, is just, I think more when I go downstairs and organize too, is make a like bin for all of the baby things and just things as they get bigger that I want to save, like fun projects, things like that. Okay, so after I got all those papers out and kind of sorted them, I then off camera kind of went through all the bills and just sorted if we needed them. Not even all of them were bills. It was just like paperwork, like our insurance paperwork, some of my paperwork from like all of my neurology, like getting all of that stuff done for when I was having a ton of seizures, figuring out all that. So I wanted to keep that. And then like some manuals that we needed, things like that. So I have them all laid out. I do have some more paperwork underneath here, but I want to go ahead and get this organized. So I'm going to head over to those other cupboards because they kind of all go together. So I'm going to go through those and then we'll come back here and start organizing this kind of junk drawer area and then figure out if we're going to put anything over there, what's going to be over there, things like that. So basically I saved all of the junk drawer type stuff for the last bit of my decluttering, because it's a junk drawer. You don't even know what needs to be in there, how to organize it. So that's kind of what I was doing, and it's definitely not perfect, but it's a whole lot better than what it was. Just trying to figure out where things should go in each, drawer is definitely something I'm just figuring out, and we'll just kind of see how, as I use them, how it goes. But it definitely feels so good to have all of the upstairs decluttered now, especially now that I'm moving into spring cleaning. I can actually focus on just the cleaning and not think about all of the clutter that I have around my house, and know that for the most part what I have in my house upstairs is what I'm actually wanting. And I think that's going to really help me out as I'm spring cleaning, because I feel like normally I was trying to go through everything and declutter and then clean, and now I can just really focus on the cleaning aspect, which is very, very nice. I will say the downstairs in the one room is going to seriously be a whole couple video in itself, because it is seriously that disastrous in there, but we'll continue to work on it. But that was everything I was getting rid of there, and then these were all the things that needed to find new homes, and then some were going in the top of the hutch, and then others were just going away. So as you can see, I had a lot of clutter, a lot of paperwork that I was sorting through. A lot of it I ended up just sorting through off camera because it was getting to be too much and it was boring, and I knew that it wasn't that fun to watch me go through a bunch of paperwork. So went ahead off camera and did that. You're going to see here in just a second me throwing away everything that we got rid of, and it was a lot. I definitely was surprised, but that's gonna wrap up today's video. Thank you guys all so much for being here and watching. I hope you guys got tons of decluttering motivation, and if you're watching for all of my other decluttering videos, thank you for watching, and hopefully it's given you some motivation to declutter your own spaces around your house. You'll feel so much better when you do. I know decluttering can be so hard sometimes, but just being really honest with yourself really can just help you have a clearer mind, and it's definitely so nice. But be looking forward to a decluttering motivation marathon video coming out, and then also my spring cleanings coming soon, and I will see you guys all in my next one.